Hi, my name is James Shepard, and today I want to answer a question. Does cold calling still work? I've really had some interesting experiences over the last few months doing consulting, talking to different ISOs. And, one really interesting illogical trend that I've noticed is that a lot of ISOs are willing to pay more for an account that they get through marketing efforts than they are an account that they get through cold calling. It's really kind of idiotic, to be honest with you. So, it's like I'm talking to somebody and it's like, hey, I have this great idea. Why don't you pay your agent, I don't know, X amount of hundreds of dollars when they make a sale? Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, well, how much are you spending right now to buy an account through your Facebook marketing? Oh, we have our cost per acquisition down to $700. And I'm like, okay. So you're willing to pay $700 to get an account through Facebook, but you're not willing to pay $200 to get an account from your agent. It doesn't really make any sense. So does cold calling still work? Now, here's the thing about cold calling. It does still work. Actually, in my experience so far, dealing with companies that are doing marketing in this particular merchant services industry tends to tap out fairly quickly. You're going to hit a ceiling very quickly. I'm talking about ISOs I know that are the best in the business at online marketing, retargeting, Facebook ads, Google AdWords, all of this content marketing, everything. And, I don't know any right now that are doing 700 deals a month. I don't know any. All the ISOs I know doing 700, 1,000 deals a month, it's all from cold calling. Okay, so the marketing stuff taps out because merchants, quite honestly, and business owners right now, they just don't really do that much searching online for merchant services. Okay, it's like trying to sell electric service on through Google AdWords. I mean, the problem is that merchants are not really seeking out these solutions all the time. The way to actually make a lot of sales is to go get them. Okay, so the key I want to talk to you about today is, does cold calling work? Yes, it works. Okay. However, if you're an ISO, if you are a recruiter, you got to make sure you're paying your salespeople similar to what you would expect to pay through a marketing campaign. And so buying merchant accounts today is kind of expensive. Okay. So you have to be willing to pay for the accounts. They're very valuable. Once you get them, if you can hang on to them, they're worth a lot of money. But cold calling does still work. And secondly, I want to talk about, how does cold calling still work, right? What do you have to do in order to make cold calling work? And the answer to that question is very, very simple. You only have to do two things. Number one, you have to have something that sets you apart from the competition. And then number two, you have to put in the work. That's really it. There's just not much else that you have to do. Okay. So right now, a lot of people are out doing cold calling with things like cash discounting and surcharging. Why do I keep, beating that drum? Because a lot of the videos I make go out to people who are selling out in the field, selling over the phone. That's something that will set you apart. That's great. Okay. I was just in Los Angeles, met with an ISO that had a very unique solution that they're providing. And so there's different things that you can do to set yourself apart in the marketplace. Okay. You can build referral networks. You can do all these different things. But the bottom line is, getting out in the field or on the phone with merchant services still works. And I'm going to take it a step further and say, getting out in the field and walking into businesses still works better than getting on the phone and selling merchant services, cold calling. It just does. Okay. Sometimes I try to hedge that bet a little bit and say, well, it depends on your skill set and everything else. And that's true to an extent. But honestly, the only reason that phone sales in this industry ever works better than door to door is because people are more willing to put in the effort over the phone because they're terrified of walking into a business. And I understand that. It can be a very scary thing. I was talking to an agent just 2 or 3 days ago, and she said, oh, I don't know. I'm sure you don't ever deal with this, but I'm nervous every time I walk into a business for the first time. And I'm like, I'm still nervous every time I walk into a business for the first time. Like, that's a scary thing. You're going to walk into a business, you don't know anybody, and you got to go walk up to somebody and, do you stand in line? Do you not stand in line? Do you pretend to buy something? Do you not? Do you, what do you do? It's always embarrassing. It's always awkward. And so the thing about that is, you might be like, well, yeah, James, that's why I don't cold call. Right. And that's why all the people who do are outselling you. Because when you're in sales, when you're in business or doing anything, you want to be the person who's doing the thing that the other people are not willing to do. That's how you become successful at anything. Okay. Obviously, there are thousands of people trying to find the magic formula to buy merchant accounts online without doing very much, right? Of course, everybody's trying to do that, right? Yes, there's hundreds and hundreds of ISOs who have call centers in the Philippines and India, and they're trying to generate appointments and they're trying to make sales that way, right? But here's the question though: how many salespeople are there who walk into 20 businesses for the first time every single day, 5 days a week, and how many of them continue doing that for a year? Not many. Okay? Your odds of hitting $3,000 to $5,000 a month in residual, if you walk into 20 businesses every day for the first time, 5 days a week for a year with your 2-week vacation, your odds of hitting $3,000 to $5,000 in residual, unless you don't know how to sell, your odds are through the roof. And I would even say maybe there's a few people finally who've been watching my videos so long that you're like, wow, James, you know what? I've been doing that for like a year or two and my residuals just aren't good. They're not at $3,000 a month right now. I don't have that kind of residual income and I've been walking into 20 businesses a day, 5 days a week for a year. Unless, maybe you haven't gotten the training, maybe jump on our 6-week Jumpstart program, but honestly, it might be time for you to move on. It really might. I mean, I literally don't know anyone like that. I've never, ever talked to an agent and said, they've told me, James, I've been walking to 20 businesses every day, Monday through Friday for a year, and my residuals are whatever, below $5,000 a month. I've never talked to an agent that fits that description ever, unless they're selling for a terrible company that's not paying them anything. And then I help them, find somebody different, but it just doesn't happen. So here's the thing that's interesting. Many of you watching this video, you are currently in a sales job right now. Okay, so I want to go 2 groups. We're going to talk to salespeople and then ISO executives and managers, okay? For salespeople, you're watching this video right now. You have a sales job or you're about to go get a sales job because you're not making it in merchant services. You're going to hate that job. You're going to have to cold call at that job anyway. You're just going to be forced to do it. Here's the thing. Walk into 20 businesses every day, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. Do that for 1 year and you're guaranteed a good income. That's it. If you're with a good company and you've got the training, hopefully you've gone through something like my 6-week Jumpstart program. If you haven't, go to ccsalespro.com, click on it right there at the top, the 6-week Jumpstart. I will personally coach you and work with you for 6 weeks, but you're going to get the income there. There's just no doubt. I mean, it just works. Again, unless you can't sell. If you're like, James, I know I can sell. I've got sales ability. I've proven myself as a sales professional. Then it's a guarantee you're going to do well. It's just a guarantee. It's what it is. If you are an ISO executive or manager, let me challenge you to put cold calling on an equal footing with the other things that you are spending money on. If you're buying a merchant account, there is nothing that says, I've seen the books of business. It's not like, well, we acquired this book on Facebook and it's just much more valuable. No, usually it's the opposite. At least when people are walking in door to door, it's a legitimate physical location business that's actually in business. You don't have to deal with all of like, oh, is this lead crap? Is this like a real business? Is this a real person? So I'm not saying any of that stuff is bad. I think it's great. And those of you that know me, I'm all about it. I do consulting all the time, helping people with their marketing efforts. But one common trait I've seen with most people trying all the marketing stuff is they're not achieving the results they want to achieve. The way you achieve in this industry the results you want is you go out and you get them. So put the same effort and money into getting those cold call sales and be willing to make the investment just like you would if it was a Facebook campaign or anything else. And you'll find that the more money you put in, the more deals you get out, just like on Facebook. If I told you, you're like, yeah, I want to go on Facebook and I'm going to try to buy merchant accounts, but I can't spend more than $100 per account. I would say you're crazy. You're not going to get anything because you need to spend more than that, right? Well, it's the same thing out in the field. You have salespeople out in the field on the phone, and you're like, well, I'm going to try to get them to make sales. I'm going to pay them $100 when they make a sale. Well, you're not going to get very many. You got to pay money to get the sales. You got to buy the merchant accounts one way or the other, right? So you can buy them online, take the risk, spend tens of thousands of dollars to hopefully start generating a good pipeline, right? A good funnel. Or you can spend the money only when somebody makes a sale, and you can make tons of money by paying salespeople to go make the sales. So put the two on a level footing is all I would ask. All right. My name is James Shepard. Hope that you have an awesome day.